Guys, this is Alex and Luke with Home on the Range. We got something different for you guys today. This one should be a bit more interesting for everybody considering it's a fairly new release. This right here, guys, is the Glock 45 Gen 6 COA with the aim point optic. Henry, why don't you bring that phone over here? Let's get a little closer. Let's take a look and make sure this thing is cleared safe. We got nothing in the chamber. We got nothing in the magazine well. Slides lock back, slide forward, gun pointed at the ground, click, nothing. Empty. So, I've just got this gun. We have done a few upgrades on it so far since we got it. Sorry, my dogs are out here today. We have put some grips on it that I'd like to talk about with you guys. These things are absolutely incredible. These are called Handle It grips. They are a sandpaper texture and they're about 18 to 20 bucks on Amazon depending on which ones you get. And I gotta tell you, out of everything I've ever put on any of my guns, this grip texture probably helps me more with managing recoil and follow-up shots than any other thing. I'm talking about it does more for this gun and the guns that I put it on than I've ever gotten from a compensator, a red dot, or anything other. This thing is phenomenal. So let's talk about a few different things that they've done differently with the Gen 6. I won't be able to really show you the serrations much and the different grip texture because like I was just talking about, we put the Handle It grips over it, which I think is on par or better than any factory grip you can probably get on any firearm. Even the custom grips, this sandpaper almost feels like you're grabbing the top of a skateboard. It's just, you can really get in there. They have put on a COA aim point optic on this thing, and I have never taken any gun that I purchased with a red dot on it and not had to make an adjustment from the factory, and this Glock 45 was exactly that. This thing was dead on right out of the box. I mean, I shot a group at 10 yards that it looked almost like two bullet holes. The rest of them were just tack driving inside of those holes. The red dot on it is very, very punchy. You can see it really, really well because of the size of the optic. You're able to see very, very easily with both eyes open. You don't have to squinch down in different lightings to find the optic. The natural point of aim with this gun I've also found to be a lot better than my Gen 5s or Gen 4s. I think that may have something to do with the beaver tail that comes out a little bit farther on the back. Glock did a really good job of letting you get a really good high grip on that thing. As far as the trigger, if you guys have not seen it, they have put a flat trigger on this thing. Now, it did keep the standardized Glock safety on the trigger, but they have made it flat, which I haven't really figured out if I like it more or less than the other. To be completely honest, I feel like the trigger, did you like it?
I liked it less.
You liked it less? So what I found is, from me, my experience, it has more take up and a little bit more sponginess to it. It's still a good trigger for a factory gun, especially a polymer striker fired gun. But I mean, if you're expecting a 2011 or a 1911 style out of a striker fired gun, you're probably dipping down the wrong alley on that anyway. As you can see, they've got the forward slide serrations on this as well. So it's really good for press checks. So you can check if you got one in the chamber. It's also very good for racking it. I really, really, really like the idea and the concept behind the way that they mounted this COA. A COA meaning the aim point COA that's on the gun. A lot of times, and almost every time that they put a red dot on a firearm slide, what they've done is they've taken it to the point where you have to run fasteners or screws through the optic into the slide. Well, they have done away with that, and if you get a close-up on it, what they did is they cut in and milled into the slide and wedged the COA into the slide, and then they mounted it and they attached a stationary rear sight in the back that pretty much chomps this thing down in the slide. And I'm sure that the reciprocating force from the slide during recycling of the rounds when you fire the pistol it is going to be a whole lot less hard on those screws because there's just none there. I mean, the optic is as close to being part of the slide as you could possibly get it. Henry, if you want to get a little close up to kind of show what I'm talking about here, about where it mounts into the slide. It's also a fully enclosed emitter. I mean, I love Holosun. I'm not sponsored by any of these people. We don't have any sponsorships of any kind yet. We are open to them, but we don't have any yet. One of the knocks that I have on the closed or the non-closed emitter optics is, after a few times of shooting this thing, even if it's a mag or so, especially if you're running a compensator, you get a lot of buildup, a lot of debris from firing this weapon that can sometimes cloud the inside of that optic. This I've not had that happen with at all. By the way, this is our dog Wrangler. He's a red heeler and he seeks attention. Now, can you go? Anyway, so I really like the optic. It's been extremely reliable so far. I mean, I haven't put enough rounds to it to really give you the best answer. I'd probably say, what are we, about 150, 200 rounds through this gun? I just got it, so we haven't had a whole lot of time to get through this. But I will say it's been accurate. It's tracked well. I have not had to adjust it. It has been spot on since I got it. One of the other things that we put on it, I'm a huge fan of flashlights on your weapon systems. I think if you're going to concealed carry it on the range, I mean, if you're going to just shoot a gun in general, I think it's very important for you to be able to see what you're shooting at. That's one of the things that I want to talk to you guys about firearm safety. If you're going to have a gun and you're going to have the ability to use a gun, I think that you should have the responsibility to use it in the right way. I think that as a young adult, or a young man, or an older man of any kind really, or woman or gal, I think that you should go out of your way to train yourself, or to search out and find training. I think that you should think about others and how your choices when you carry affects others. I think that you should think about situationally when you go out, how you act when you have that firearm on you. I think that a lot of people are so concerned with, I have a gun. Well, so does everybody else pretty much in America. I think that we need to do a better job at the responsibility factor of having a firearm. My grandpa, I call him Pappy. I did call him Pappy. He's gone now, but he always told me that a gun is no different than a hammer or a screwdriver. It's a tool. You know, it's a tool to feed your family if necessary. It's a tool to defend your family. It can be a tool if you're in sport to be able to achieve whatever goals you have, you know, if you're shooting for sport. And you should treat it accordingly. You know, you should treat it as a tool. It gets, I think when you call it a weapon and you constantly refrain to, you know, firearm or weapon, it kind of puts it in a negative connotation of this is only used for one purpose, and that's to hurt. And I disagree with that. I hunt. I can't say I'm an avid hunter. I don't do it all the time, but when I do it, I do enjoy it. But I don't look at a gun and say, I want that because I want to go hurt somebody or anything of that nature. I think if that's something that you admit, that when you see a gun, if that's immediately what you think, I think you should probably evaluate, you know, where you're at mentally and maybe go get some help and talk to somebody, because that's not a good way of thinking. But anyway, back to the gun. Glock 45. If you guys are not familiar with a Glock 45, and it is one of those weirder Glock numbers that are out there. You know, everybody's familiar with the 19. Everybody's familiar with the 43X at this point. The 19, and a lot of people are coming around to the 48. The 45 is one of my favorites for like a range gun. Not so much a carry. I would carry it depending on weather, like depending on my clothes. It's a little bit bigger. So the 45 has a Glock 19 slide or Glock 19 size slide. They are interchangeable. But it inherited the Glock 17, which is the full-size grip module and frame. I like that. And a lot of people say, well, why wouldn't you, if you're going to get a frame that big, why wouldn't you just buy the Glock 17? Well, a few different reasons. First of all, I like the recoil on the 45 better because you get a full-size grip but you get a shorter slide, which happens to be lighter. The lighter the slide, the faster this slide comes back because of the less weight. And the recoil, the snap of this is different, and I feel like it's a quicker recoil impulse and allows me to get on target faster. Okay. I don't have the largest hands, like we talked about the other day, and my son shoots with me too. So obviously he doesn't have the largest hands, and I didn't really need the 17 grip, but the real reason that I got this 45 was because I said, well, I got a few options when I get the COA. I wanted the COA, absolutely wanted it. If to be honest, if Glock hadn't have done this with aim point, I probably don't buy this gun. But I wanted this optic so bad, and I just could not see myself spending money with Springfield. Not that they're not a great gun. I don't necessarily believe in some of their stances on our Second Amendment rights, and I'll leave that at that. However, I do really, really like Glock. And when they came out with this, I said, man, I gotta go get one of those. And I looked everywhere. I had one chance to buy it at a Bass Pro a month or so ago on a 43X COA edition, and I didn't do it. And the reason that I didn't do it is because you guys know I have a 43X already, and I didn't want to buy the same gun I already had just for the optic. At the moment, they're not selling this optic. If they are, I'm not aware of it. And even if you do, you got to get an A-cut done to your slide to be able to run this optic. So I had to make a decision. Do I go out and buy another Glock, or do I swap out my Glock and replace it with the same thing with a different optic? That wasn't something I was interested in. So I said, you know, I'm going to do a little research. I'm going to find, what do I need? I don't really have a full-sized range gun / duty gun. I'm not in the military or law enforcement. When I say duty, I mean in the sense that if I was going to open carry, which I don't, but if I were going to go in the woods and open carry, which I do, or if I was going to go fishing and open carry, would I want something that I was super proficient with? And I think that's this. I think that that's this. I really, really like this gun. I'm going to do another review on shooting it, and I'm going to try to give you guys and paint you guys a good picture of me shooting it, Luke shooting it, possibly Henry behind the camera. By the way, Henry is my oldest son. He's playing cameraman for me today so that me and Luke could both get on camera, because I felt like the last video we kind of didn't get you involved as much outside of the shooting aspect of it, and I wanted this to be a channel with me and him, not just me. What are your thoughts on it, Luke, so far comparatively to the 43X?
This one's worse.
You don't like this one as much?
Yeah, I don't like that one as much.
Why?
Mostly from the way it shoots and from how much recoil it has.
You think this one has more recoil than the 43X?
Yeah.
It's possible.
And how it looks.
You don't like this? You like the brown on the other one, is what it is. So he likes the desert tan or the peanut butter Glock color that they like. I could also understand maybe the 43X possibly being a little bit more comfortable for him too, just based off of his hand size, you know. I think comparatively, my opinion, I like them both. I definitely like this optic more. If no knocks to Holosun, I love Holosun, but I don't know if there's an optic out there that I like more than this thing right now. I mean, the look of it, the feel of it, the clarity of it, it's crystal clear. The only thing I want to do to this gun, and it doesn't really need it because I think the recoil is manageable. I like it a lot. I mean, it's 9mm. The more you shoot it, the better you get. Train. I really want to put a ramjet on here and see how it runs. See how this thing does with a comp. I also got a flashlight for this. This is a TLR1 HL made by Streamlight. This thing, it's bright. This thing also has strobe, which my other Streamlight does not have. So if you guys want to blind somebody, have a rave, whatever you want to do, you can do it. But overall, guys, man, I really, really, really like this gun. I think it's a phenomenal gun. I've had 0 issues out of it. I've had none. I've ran multiple.
Well, you just got it.
Well, I did shoot 200 rounds to it, though, the first day I bought it. So far I've had absolutely no failures, hiccups of any kind through it, and I really enjoy it. I need you guys to support us, man. We're trying to get this thing going. Y'all don't know what it means when y'all subscribe or y'all like. We're trying to reach 1,000 views on one of these videos. The first one we dropped, we got 444 views. Right now, my last video only did 167. I need you guys to lock in and help us out, man. Without you guys, we're not going to be able to get where we want to get. So tune in. We're going to do a shooting review on this thing. I'm going to try to make it a little bit more in depth than the last one, get some close-ups on how the recoil looks. Get a little close-up on this, Henry. Get a little close-up and show them what it looks like.
I got it.
Luke, I'm zooming in.
Let me check.
If you guys like it, if you guys like the video, like and subscribe, leave a comment. I try to get back to everybody. Hopefully we get a few more, and thanks for visiting us on Home on the Range.